All right, folks, good evening. Let's get airborne with our full throttle training demonstration. Harry, good to see you. Hopefully, Tamara made it in here as well. Was talking to Tamara earlier. Hopefully she's okay. And everybody's good, man. Love my squadron, love my people, love all you guys, my members. We have a tight-knit squadron here, and you guys are great. There's Harry. Good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and get airborne with our full throttle sample training. Here's what we've done so far, ladies and gentlemen. Monday night, we did a welcome aboard brief. A lot of folks who were asking some questions earlier today obviously didn't attend that or watch the replay because they were asking questions about risk or max potential loss and a bunch of other stuff. Do me a favor, if you haven't watched this yet, and I see the views on YouTube, because that's where we post these going up. You guys need to watch this, okay? This is the replay page. This afternoon, we talked about in accelerated retirement, smashing the financials into the dirt. That trades up $400 into the close. We have a new Raytheon Iron Condor, and I also covered how last Wednesday, we closed 2 trades for $5,200 in profit, okay? This is all on the replay page. Please make sure you have this link right here. Oh, okay. Thanks, Tamara. All right, so, yep, somebody just asked, where is that? We got some new folks here tonight, which is great. There you go. I just put it in the chat box there. There's the replay from this afternoon, Accelerated Retirement. Here's the replay from yesterday. We got bullish on China. Wiz, how can you be bullish on China when things are slowing down? Slowing GDP growth, slowing this, slowing that. Guess what? China, the PBOC, the People's Bank of China, is going to jump into their markets between now and next Friday with a little bit of love, with a little bit of liquidity, and guess what? The FXI is going to pop. So very, very happy with that trade. But you can watch all the replays here because one of my buddies sent me a text at happy hour. He's like, dude, I'm going to send an email out to send my members over there tonight to see what you have to say. So I know. Good. All right. Well, good. Welcome aboard. A lot of new folks here right now. If you're new, I recommend on the replay page you scroll all the way down to what we did Monday night. Here's Wiz, so to speak. Here's my background with Top Gun Options. Here's our methodology, and here's our 7-step trade plan. Everybody should have downloaded as soon as you got in the room. Over here where it says handouts, let me take a screenshot of that. You can click on it where it says handouts, and it says the following things. OPCL, which is the options pocket checklist, final, the TGO trade plan, and the one-page data trade sheet. So make sure you guys, in fact, download that. Hold on. Let me double check that my headset. Nope. There we go. Can you guys hear me better now? I don't think my headset was fully connected here. Okay, good. Yeah. Sorry about that. It was. I was recharging my headset and just double. Yep. Okay. Good. Yes. 98.9 WHIZ Wiz Radio, loud and clear. Okay. Good. Here's what I have to brief you about. This is for the dog days of summer, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually pretty damn good. We have 19, 21-ish people that have already grabbed their full throttle slots. Here's where we are right now. We have exactly WKRP in Cincinnati. That's who I was channeling. Dr. Fever, Dr. Johnny Fever, and Lonnie Anderson. I had a buddy of mine. He was a Marine F-18 pilot. His name was Lonnie, and or no, what was his name? Greg? No, Greg Anderson. His call sign was Lonnie. So, and Les Nessman. Okay. We opened up our slots earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I'm going to show you a Tredge, a top secret trade called a Tredge. And I'm going to show you what happened to my volatility trade from a week ago, up $2,200 in a day. If we don't get 50 people tonight, I'll see many of you tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. If you're a member, I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock because we're going to do this anyway, but we're not going to let free folks in if we got the 50. And then Friday, if we're still open, we'll do a weekly options brief, okay? Industry leading, open the doors, see our current positions. We opened up the slots, and tonight we're going to talk about a Tredge, okay? So let's break this word down. And actually, the colors are wrong. I need to redo this slide. With a trade, ladies and gentlemen, you want to make money. With a hedge, you want to lose money. Okay, Wiz, I just showed up to this brief. You're telling me I want to lose money. Yeah, you do. With a hedge, ladies and gentlemen, a hedge is an ejection seat, okay? A hedge means what? I never got out of my F-18 and said, you know what? I can't believe I had this ejection seat. I can't believe it wasted 800 pounds of gas. What a stupid thing to fly with an ejection seat. I know not many people in this room, were fighter pilots or flew tactical aircraft, but folks, how many of you in this room would go flying on a combat sortie over Iraq without a parachute? Nobody. Period. Rob, lose money. I'm good at that. Well, Rob, here you're going to change that here at Top Gun Options, man, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about a Tredge tonight. I'm Wiz. You guys know me by now. I'm going to give you a quick update about how many slots we have left, cover some administrative items, give you a sample of our full throttle training, and usually as we go on through this session, about an hour and a half ish, you're going to actually. My phone did. What is that? That's a text from Susie. And all right, so 22. So between the AR brief at 1 o'clock, we have closed 22 memberships. Okay, what's that leave? 20? Was it 28? There are only 28 memberships left. So let me get rid of all this marketing crap. We're going to go straight to this. If you want to get on board right now, here's the link to do it. Okay. We have 22 slots left. We have whatever Susie just texted me that are gone. And watch what we do. If between tomorrow night and 1 o'clock we fill up, we're going to close the doors and get airborne. Okay, so listen to me, folks. If you want to get access to everything we do here at Top Gun Options, the 8 training sessions, the manuals I give you, the primary live trade we did yesterday, the urgent alert service, analyze your trade, which is tomorrow, and trade accelerated retirement that we did today, you do the defensive annual slot. Okay, let's take a look at offensive. Everything we do here at Top Gun Options, and you know what, Wiz, I like the sound of trading weekly options. I'm going to show you the weekly options trade we currently have on, and I'm going to show you how much money you can make. This is weekly options. This is the offensive track. If you want everything we do here at Top Gun Options, except Solo Amazon, it's the Max Afterburner package, okay? Everybody give me a vertical head nod that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Good, okay. Now, let me go to over here, positions. Hold on 1 second, positions. All right, here's what I'm going to show you. And this is absolutely, Eileen, the one-page trade plan is over here in the handout section. Okay, do you see it, Elaine? Let me show you. I have my trading screen up right now. Okay, so right here over, you should see handouts 3 of 5. You should see an OPCL, a TGO trade plan, 1 page, and the trade data sheet. Do you guys see that? Jeff, is offensive better suited towards creating monthly income? The answer is yes, because offensive has weekly options. Okay, you could go with offensive, Jeff, or you could do the max. Okay, so both of those has the weekly options brief. Does that make sense? Okay, hold on. Let me close all this stuff. Okay, here's what I want to look at before we get into our training for tonight. Everybody see this? So I'm not gonna use any names, but do you guys see this trade right here? This is a VXX bull put spread. VXX is a proxy that we use to trade. Daryl, there's a 14-day trial offer. If I take this and want to get in at the end, will I still be able? Daryl, the answer is no. I should have said Monday night. And it's my fault, Daryl, because let me show you what Daryl just said. Because it's hold on, let me show you this. Harry, it's been showing 1 or 2 trades equal. Yeah. So Daryl, it cracks me up because the 14-day member or trial is $28. At the end of that, you actually get billed for less than what you would for a full throttle, man. So don't. And Daryl, I hate to single you out here, but folks, people take a 14-day trial for $28. You're doing what, 5 days of trading for us for free. Please do not. I'm going to save you $28, ladies and gentlemen. Do not do the $28 trial. Right now, you're doing a trial into our services for free. And I know my marketing team's going to get pissed at me that I just said that, but don't do that, guys. Don't spend $28 right now. Or you know what? The marketing guy in me just took over. Spend the $28, and at the end of it, you're going to get billed for a lot more money than you would have if you listened to me. Guys, listen to me. If just everybody calm down. I like the appreciation for stuff, but let's do this. Here's what I want to talk about tonight. You see this VXX vertical? VXX it's a volatility proxy. 2 days ago, ladies and gentlemen, this trade was down about $3,000. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Today, it's up $2,200, this volatility trade. And I'm going to show you by Friday what this trade could do. Everybody look at here, right here, okay? This is a bull put spread on, let me put it in the background, VXX. And this is what we're going to talk about tonight, VXX. Let me bring up the chart in the background. So the 23, let me minimize this. You see this right here? Last week, I told my members, I said, folks, this decrease in volatility will not last. We are going to have a pop in volatility. What happened? I put on a 23, 22.5 bull put spread. You ready for this? It could potentially, by Friday, make $2,500 on limited risk. Okay, everybody see this? VXX decreasing, and this trade could potentially make $2,500 in, what, 2 days? Okay, let me click on this again and show you what it looks like. Here we go. So it is the, not FXI, sorry about that. Let me bring up VXX. Analyze. Here we go. It's the 23, 22.5. The reason I'm dropping anchor on this is because I want to talk about volatility tonight. And for whatever reason, when I click on this order ticket, E-Trade's got some issues, man. I do my live account at TradeStation, but look at this. Risking $5,700 to potentially make $1,800. By Friday, this trade is going to make $1,800. Did you see where we closed today? Did everybody see where we closed today? We closed on what? The lows of the day. When you go into the closing bell and it's bad, it's bad. Right now, the futures are indicating a triple point decline. Why? Well, if you were in the accelerated retirement brief this afternoon at 1 o'clock, what did I tell you? CSX. Did anybody see Netflix after the close? Oh my God. Now, IBM beat, there were some beats today, but can anybody say, holy crap, Batman? 12% decline out of Netflix. And people are starting to put Netflix in as a technology stock. This thing is imploding. Down 12%, ladies and gentlemen, after the close. And going into earnings, do you think anybody on Wall Street knew that Netflix, oh man, when it opens tomorrow, it's going to be down here. How many of you in this room right now, man, this is huge, a lot of, I'm not ignoring your questions, a lot of people, how many of you believe that this market at record highs is going to open up higher tomorrow? Netflix is a canary in the coal mine. IBM, there was some mixed earnings after hours. But folks, it is time to get long volatility easily. easily you have got to get long volatility. Let's take a look at the VIX, the volatility index. So what I want to do is this. When you become a member, Nadia, where do you live, Nadia? Nadia just became a full throttle annual max member. Seriously. Nadia's from Nadia. I'm up in Fort Lauderdale right now. So Nadia is in Miami. Welcome aboard. What's that? 22 slots there. Awesome. Nadia just became a full throttle annual max member. All right. So here's what I want to show you real quick. Tonight, so if you're sitting here, if you've been sitting in full throttle training going, dude, I don't even know what a call or a put is. I don't know what are you kidding me? An iron condor? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, when I went to Pensacola Naval Air Station, I'm not going to tell you how old I am or how long ago that was, but I had about, 11, 12 guys in my flight school class. One of the guys had never seen an airplane before. His first flight on an airplane was from Montana State or wherever in Great Falls to Pensacola. He had gone to, never flown on an airplane. Another guy in my flight school class flew 6,000 hours in a Learjet. Guess which one of those two almost failed out of flight school? Tell me. Which one out of the two almost failed in flight school? The kid whose first flight was on an airliner, or the dude that had 6,000 hours in Learjets? The guy with 6,000 hours was the one who was going to get thrown out of flight school. Why? He thought he knew everything, right? Guess what? The guy, the kid, and guess what he ended up flying? He was a squadron mate of mine. He flew Hornets, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the deal. I'm going to talk about a trade today, which is probably down here in the training, but I don't want to scare you. Why? Because in about 2 weeks, at Tuesday night and Thursday night at 7 o'clock to about 9 o'clock, we're going to go through, hey, Wiz, what's your trading methodology? Where do you get your intel, your intelligence sources? Wiz, what the hell is a call and a put? I don't even know, man. I trade mutual funds. Session 2. Here's covered call. We take a building block approach to options trading. Okay? So for all the people sitting in this room like, man, I don't even know what the hell an option is, stop. You are going to learn. Okay? So here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to go back to our trading platform. Hold on, let me get rid of that. Everything that if you were in look at Netflix, look at this. Does anybody in this room not believe that there's insider trading? I've been in rooms where people have talked about insider trading. Netflix going into earnings, it will open up down here tomorrow. The futures are red as Chernobyl series right now, folks. I told you Monday night that you need to get long volatility, didn't I? Didn't I? Let's bring up the VIX, the volatility index. Now, if you don't know, by this point in your free full throttle training, you should know that what? You should replace, every time you see the word volatility, you should replace the word uncertainty. Monday night, I said what? Hey man, the VIX down, write this wizism down. When volatility is cheap, you buy it. Look at the VIX. Does it look cheap to you? The last time the VIX was this low was when? Back in May. And then what happened? I was sitting at South Bend Airport after giving a speech to a veterans organization. And then what happened? My phone literally blew up. My phone caught on fire. Wiz, I had alerts from Wall Street Journal. I had alerts from buddies. Donald Trump said, dude, get on an airplane and leave. He was talking to Secretary Mnuchin, Ambassador Lighthizer. They were over in China. Secretary Mnuchin said, we are a week away from a trade deal. And then what happened? We have no trade deal. The VIX went from, what's that, folks? 12.5. What did it peak out? Look at the top of this Keltner channel. It doubled. Ladies and gentlemen, the VIX doubled in 3 or 4 days. And then what happened? Oh, nothing bad can happen ever again. ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I'm sitting here in Fort Lauderdale. When is the best time to buy hurricane insurance? In hurricane season or when it's beautiful out and the sun is shining? Don't have to answer it. It's rhetorical. Look at this. Volatility is decreasing. A little bit of freak out. Oh, a little bit of freak out. Nothing. We had a month and a half of nothing could go wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, during this month and a half, what happened? I overdrew my yellow right there, but in this time frame, what happened? Mnuchin, we're going to get a trade deal. Larry Kudlow, everything's great. Donald Trump, I'm a huge dealer, trade deal, huge. Nobody believes trade deals better than me. Boom, boom. Nothing but good news. What did I tell TGO members? Don't believe a word. When volatility is cheap, you buy it. When it's expensive, you sell it. And guess what happened? Sitting in South Bend Airport on a Sunday, I made about 25 grand at Monday's opening. Why? By being long volatility. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, wait, Wiz, I thought everything's great. This VIX is going to get above 15 in a matter of a couple days to a week. Easily. Right? So, Joe, I appreciate that, folks. I'm going to show Steve just got in from church, man. Steve, next time you go to church, do me a favor and say a prayer for me. I'm going to show you some of the chat box. Joe, off topic, but I joined TGO 2 months ago for the right side of the chart. If you don't know what Joe's talking about, Joe's a smart dude. Don't know Joe personally, but he's a smart dude. Why? How many times have you seen people give you a presentation about this side of the chart? How many people in this room can place a trade and your broker will make you place a trade? Stop, man. You have to learn what the right side of the chart is going to look like, right? So Joe said, I joined TGO 2 months ago for the right side of the chart. Vision, I'm an income player. Somebody asked earlier about income stuff. Joe, thanks for saying this. I'm an income player, and the WO means weekly options. Joe's talking in TGO code. Is working out great, gaining intestinal fortitude, gaining confidence. Thanks, Wiz. Joe, thank you. Hold on. I need to grab a clean shot of that without all my yellow stuff all over it. And folks, these are unsolicited testimonials, which people on other services don't do. Hold on. So here's what we need to do. Steve, thank you. And that's exactly what I do here at Top Gun Options, folks. When people roger this stuff up, I grab it and I use it in my presentations. Okay, so here's what we need to do. I'm going to introduce you to a topic called a Tredge. This is a Top Gun Options only thing, guys. Okay, so here we go. When I place a trade, let me go to my position screen here. You see this? This is a VX. Wow, look at our Visa trade from last week, $2,700. This bull put spread on volatility was down yesterday about $1,900. I'm going to go back to the slides real quick, and I'm going to go up here. I got a couple emails from people yesterday. Wiz, the volatility trade's underwater. And then I do that. Stay disciplined, folks. The plan was, and let me show you when this trade expires, okay? The plan was what? When this trade expires, Friday, I think it's going to be at max profit. Let me bring it up again and show you. So let me show you this bull put spread. Men line numbers don't. 23, 22 and a half bull put spread. Let's take a look at a chart of VXX for the past, 5 days. So look at this. That's fixed. 20 VXX. So it's let me draw a line in here, folks, at 23. Everybody see this? That's 23 right there. So for the past couple days, what happened? Especially yesterday, a couple of my coaching clients, which I spanked, were like, Wiz, volatility is going lower. I said, folks, The market is at record highs. Earnings are mixed at best, which means remember, folks, when I say earnings are mixed, they're lying. We talked about this earlier with FedEx. FedEx has warned twice before reporting their earnings. They warned twice that let me search my memory databanks. Nope, I can't ever remember a company who's reported or warned twice before their earnings that each time they warned that earnings are going to suck, they lowered their estimate. Remember the Wall Street wizism I'm going to give you. If you can't hit the ball over the net, lower the net. So yesterday when people are emailing me or my private coaching clients like, Wiz, this thing's at your eject. I'm like, it is, but it isn't. And what happened by today? It turned from being a trade down $1,900 to being up $2,100. And I'm pausing for effect for a reason. If you're the type of trader who, if a trade during the lifetime of the trade sees a little red or that it's losing money, do not sign up. Or you know what? I apologize for that. Actually do sign up because you're trading wrong. When I go through my trade plan, folks, you saw it yesterday in my primary life trade brief. I tell you, hey, here are the threats. What did I say yesterday? There is a distinct possibility during the lifetime of this trade it's losing money. Guess when you lose money, folks? Not during the life of a trade. You lose money when you close it. So Uncle Wiz, if he's looking at a loss, goes back up to what? Step number 3 of his trade plan, which is commit criteria. What was my commit criteria for getting into this volatility trade? I said something between last Tuesday and this Friday is going to happen to freak this market out. Uncle Wiz was right. So this trade is potentially going to make about $2,000 in 2 days. You got it? Jeff, it was very close to my eject point. Remember, my personal eject point on a credit spread is double the credit that I took in. It was, so yesterday, Jeff, great question. Down here, it was at my eject point. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't watch me Monday night, give me 50 push-ups and then watch the replay. Why? Because I tell you, if something is at the eject point in a trade, what do? I eject. No, you don't. Let me give you this analogy again. I flew a single-engine fighter aircraft in training, the A4 Skyhawk. John McCain flew the A4. The emergency procedure for an engine fire, you have one engine. Engine fire, what do? Well, Wiz, if the engine's on fire, I eject. No, you don't. If the engine fire light comes on, what do? Step 1 in the A4 fire checklist was what? Verify. You know how many times people ejected out of an A4 because, oh my God, the fire light came on. Well, that was a rusted, corroded thing, and it said to eject, it said engine fire light. So guess what, folks? You know what? When you get to your eject point in a trade, you don't blindly eject. You go, hey, man, and I'm going to teach you this term, SA, situational awareness. You know what it says in the emergency procedures checklist? Verify that you have an engine fire. What is your EGT, your exhaust gas temperature? It's normal. Okay, you most likely don't have a fire. Are you flying formation with somebody? Yeah, Harry's out there. Harry, what's up, Wiz? Am I on fire or do you see smoke? No. Okay. Do you smell smoke in the cockpit, Wiz? No. Why would you eject out of an aircraft where you're just flying along straight, dumb, and happy? Your exhaust gas temperature is normal. Harry doesn't see anything. Don't. So this is the discipline I'm going to teach you. Now, obviously, with my one-on-one coaching clients, they get to text me. We talk almost throughout the day. But folks, here I just want to give you an example of discipline. We went from, oh my God, Wiz, we're all going to die, to you're the smartest dude in the room. I'm going to tell you I am the smartest dude in the room, and don't, so to speak, prematurely eject. Exactly, Jeff. Jeff's got some experience as a fighter pilot. He just said sun glinting off the fire. You know what? When you maneuver the airplane, sometimes if sun hits the fire, emitter right, it'll give you a fire light. Could you imagine ejecting out of an aircraft and then that aircraft flying another 2,000 miles before it crashed? Do not prematurely eject. Okay. So this was great. I went to happy hour, talked to my buddies. I'm like, I have a perfect teachable moment. I've had 2 days of members, well, not members who have been here for a while because they trust me, but new members going, oh my God, dude, you're losing money. Oh yeah? And guess what you do? Guess what non-TGO members do? They eject right there. And then 2 days later, they call me like, you know what, Wiz? I should have listened to you. Yeah, you're right. You should have. I've been doing this long enough, and trading is a form of combat. Okay, so that's the current volatility trade we have on. Does everybody understand this? Okay, and I will go out of my way during live trade briefs to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, during the lifetime of this trade, it might be, quote, losing money. And I've reminded you that the only time you lose money is when, or you make money, is when you close it. Don't tell me, hey, man, I'm making a profit in this trade. Is it still open? Yeah. Then it's a gain. And it ain't a loss until you close it. A lot of my coaching students know not to say that to me. They're like, oh, Wiz, I'm losing. Oh, you're right. I'm not losing money on this trade. You can say it's negative. You can say it's in the red. Don't say you're losing money. You don't lose money until you close it. Because if you close money on this trade yesterday, you're kicking yourself because of what? It had a $2,700 swing today. Why? Because the market's rolling over and volatility is going up. All right, we got to move. That was way too long, but that was a good intro to what I want to talk about, which is a Tredge, a trade that also serves as a hedge. Now, many of you in this room who are, and it's cool that current TGO members show up for all this stuff because they actually remind me, they're like, you know what, Wiz, I've been here for a couple of years. I actually learned something tonight. So, or something new, right? I had nearly 3,000 hours in the Hornet. Guess what? On my last flight in the Hornet, I still learned something about the airplane. You never stop learning. If you want to go do options training from some dude or some lady who's like, I am the Olympus of options knowledge, they're an idiot. I am not the Olympus of options knowledge. I learn something every day. Okay? Harry and Kevin, I appreciate that, guys. Let me show you what these guys are saying. And Jeff, former aviator in there. We got Harry. Kevin's been here for a while. Totally agree. Best refresher. Exactly. So, guys, don't listen to me. Take a look at current member or future members and current members. Sunlight glinting off the firelight. Great explanation. Totally agree. Best refresher. So here's what I want to do, folks, is with our time remaining, I'm going to remind you of what you get here, session 1 through 8. And right now, folks, you get access as soon as you sign up for the 1821. I'm not looking at my phone because Susie already texted me again. Hold on. Just got off the phone with Rebecca. Congratulations. Always just got off the, all right, 23 are gone. Welcome aboard. I don't know if she, no, she's at work. So Rebecca watching the replay, welcome aboard. I appreciate it. She's a Full Throttle Max member. You ready? As soon as you guys sign up, go to the homepage here and underneath member content, you hover over it, go over here to Full Throttle. And here's what I need you to do. Before we do the next live 8 sessions, go look at the last 8 sessions back in, when was this? May. Ladies and gentlemen, an Iron Condor was an Iron Condor 25 years ago. It'll be an Iron Condor 50 years from now. My son, who will take over, sons who will take over Top Gun Options, will be teaching you. The tactics don't change, folks. What's going on in the world changes, right? So do me a favor, log in as soon as you purchase and go look at the previous Full Throttle sessions. Oh my God, look at, when was this? Feb. Options basics. This is a call, this is a put. What was going on back in Feb? Everybody remember this guy? Good old Jesse Smollett. Oh yeah, a bunch of white guys beat me up in Chicago at 2 in the morning and negative Kelvin, whatever. Here's my point. And here's what you get when you get your Full Throttle membership is you get access to these full throttles for the rest of the time you're a TGO member. Tamara, God bless Tamara. She was not, well, she wasn't doing good earlier. She I won't share stuff, but she's done 7 of these live full throttles, 7 times $495. 7 times 5 is, can anybody do 7 times $500? That more than Tamara has learned something every time she does them, man. $3,500, Jeff. Every time I do a full throttle session, you guys get free access. That pays for your Full Throttle membership. That's why it gets to, usually by Wednesday night in Full Throttle, I'm like, you know what, man, if they haven't signed up by now, I don't know if I want them to be a member, because the folks that end up not having situation awareness end up being a pain in the ass. But I'm going to finish here. VIX. The VIX, ladies and gentlemen, the uncertainty index is doing what lately? Oh my God, Trump walked out of the trade deal. Okay, G20. Hey, we're talking. Actually, we're not talking, and nothing. And then today, the VIX is up nearly 10%. Ladies and gentlemen, volatility is going to pop, and we are going to drop. Look at this chart, folks. We are at record highs. CSX today, and I'll admit this, folks, yesterday in the primary, here's what's funny about trading with a Navy fighter pilot. I will be the first person to admit I got something wrong. I missed this. Why did I miss this? For the past 3, 4, 5 earnings periods, James Foote, the CEO of CSX, has been a Donald Trump reelection campaign. Look at this back here. Earnings, rip your face off rally. Earnings, rip your face off rally. Earnings, rip your face off. Look at this. Look at that gap up on the last earnings. What was that? 6% move on earnings. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, why? Because Trump was talking about infrastructure, railroads, the economy was great, CSX. Warren Buffett, WB, is a massive shareholder in CSX. What did Uncle Wiz think going into these earnings? That this was this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. The dude who just said, how many of you can trade off the left side of a chart, got it wrong. But I also told you this afternoon, Accelerated Retirement, that why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? I've been owned a stock in probably as long as I've been flying fighter aircraft. If I was a shareholder in CSX, I would have filed a lawsuit against the CEO today. I would have bought more of these shares, down 10%, but I would have sued the CEO. Why? He busted his fiduciary duty. He should have pre-warned that earnings were going to be this bad, right? He didn't. But anyway, so here's a perfect example of me actually, oh my God, there's losing trades. This is a screaming buy. But the reason I'm bringing up CSX, other than falling on my sword to show you that I am human, unlike other services who I never have a losing trade. But it doesn't matter, folks. Look at me. A losing trade, we're going to go out tomorrow in our Analyze Your Trade. We're going to fly in our Joint Strike Fighter and go out to Jan 21. Whoever wins the election and gets inaugurated in January of 2021 is going to bring up infrastructure, the 3 R's. 3 R's, railroad, runways, and roads. That's one of the reasons CSX has had a great time here. But one of the reasons I'm ranting about me being wrong in CSX is this. It is a canary in the coal mine, ladies and gentlemen. If the financials, which sucked, how many of you got into the bearish XLF spread today? It's up like $400 since this afternoon. XLF is the financials ETF. The transports and the financials are starting to suck. And what did I say happens 2 weeks from now? FED. There's a Fed meeting right here. And the only thing the Fed can do at this point is disappoint. If you missed the Fed's testimony last week, guess what? You missed the 2-day Fed meeting in the future. I don't need to see what the Fed has to say. Well, no, let me take that back. Jerome Powell, last week testifying in front of Congress, told us what the Fed's going to do in 2 weeks, essentially. But what Jerome Powell didn't tell us is in about 2 weeks, he might be one and done. If Jerome Powell comes out and cuts rates, which he's there, I've never seen this, ladies and gentlemen. It's 27 years of doing this. 0 times have I seen a 100% probability of a Fed hike or cut. We live in very strange times. Equities go up on what? Words. This is about 20 minutes of rambling commit criteria into why we need to get long volatility. Okay, so here we go. A trade, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make money. Dude, Wiz, I signed up for your service. It's actually really cheap compared to my quote unquote competitors. But anyway, paying a lot of money for this. I don't want to lose money on a trade. Good. I don't either. I hate losing money. It's combat, folks. I treat me losing money as almost as equal to me getting shot down. I feel that way, ladies and gentlemen. It's funny because people are like, oh, the paper trading account. I'm like, you can't show people. If you believe a pilot gets into a simulator and if he crashes goes, hey, let's go to the bar, you're an idiot. We treat that as real life. So let's talk about this, folks. A trade, we want to make money. A hedge, I don't mind losing money. When you get on board Top Gun Options, I'm going to show you the 7, 8 sectors we're going to be long-term bullish. But we're going to fly around with an ejection seat. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, vol is at a 3, well, up until the close. What do we do into the close, folks? I loved it. I love seeing selling into the close. My VXX bull put spread went from being down $1,900 to being up 2,100. Love it. I love when I watch trades and I know people are texting or emailing me like, oh, Wiz, you're wrong about this. I'm like, look at your commit criteria. Why did you get into the trade? Well, because between now and next Friday, I think volatility is going to, click. So, ladies and gentlemen, volatility has either found a floor or it's going higher. Right now, the futures are indicating lower. Netflix sucked. Don't give me IBM or Microsoft or all the other old, white, racist tech names. Netflix what is Netflix, folks? Give me the acronym. It's a FANG. Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google. Guess what? The N in that thing sucked. How many of you think Apple, the A in the FANG, not Amazon, Amazon is not a tech company, how many of you think Apple's going to print money or give a positive forward guidance with what? A month ago in our live trade briefs, what did I tell you to do with Apple? The Chinese government actually came out and singled out Apple by name and said what? We might ban you from our country. I can't stand Apple. I traded Apple. They're a limousine liberal company. I can't stand them. Apple does what, folks? Apple employs 10-year-old kids in China to make their $1,000 iPhone. Can't stand these limousine liberals. Oh, we're not going to unlock that iPhone because, privacy concerns. But we're going to do this in China because we want the money. I'm going to show you some, guys. I'm going to show you. Many of you have never seen this before. You ready for this, guys? I don't want to be this down, but I'm going to tell you why I can't stand Apple. Have any of you seen this on the liberal media? You can Google this on your own. Does anybody know these are dormitories for Apple employees in China? This is smuggled pictures. Oh, they're fake. I don't give a shit what you think. They're not. You know what these nets, if you're a TGO member, don't tell me. If you're not a TGO member and you don't know this about Apple, what are those nets for? See, some of my TGO members are telling me it's sad. I know it's sad. Tell me what these nets are for, ladies and gentlemen, with your iPhone watching me tonight. Somebody tell me. Deborah, pray not suicide. It is, ladies and gentlemen. These are suicide nets for children. How many of you watching Rachel Maddow or NBC or Apple makes, and Nike, ladies and gentlemen, for all you Colin Kaepernick supporters, Apple and Nike makes their products in China where they house their children and adult workers in dormitories where they have suicide nets. I'll leave it at that, guys. It's awful. But yet they're going to lecture the United States of America on what we do here. Get out of our country. So here's what I'm getting at, folks. I saw a huge article today after the close. Look at that. A bunch of people are like, oh, my God, I never knew that. Of course you don't. Harry and a bunch of my members, how many times, Harry, have you told me, like, dude, I don't even watch the news. I get my news from you. I go out and get it, folks. I call my buddies in the Pentagon. I call my buddies in London, Chicago, New York, who run hedge funds, who run prop shops. I know what's going on. You want to get your news? You're going to get it here. But here's what I'm talking about. We're going lower. I would have never bought Apple had I known. Dude, I told you years ago, here's where we got out of Apple at Top. Folks, I recommended Apple when it was an acorn. I think it was like $82. Like, when was it? Like 2006 or something like that. I was at a money show in Las Vegas, folks. And you know when I got out of Apple? Does anybody remember a couple years ago in San Bernardino, California? We're gonna stop now and talk about this. Then we'll talk about volatility. I apologize, but I can't. And for the folks that don't like politics and they're trading, you're blind and you don't understand how markets work. A couple years ago, a killer busted into a public or government building with his wife in burqa or whatever she was to him, and slaughtered people. San Bernardino killer. Remember this? The San Bernardino police, geez, it's the heroes, man. The one guy that like drove his car up. My God. You know what happened? 2015. Thank you. What happened? After the attacks happened, the dude had bombs at his house. Let me tell you something, folks. The FBI went to the dude's house. Bombs blew up. Nobody got hurt, but they grabbed his iPhone and other stuff. Ladies and gentlemen of Top Gun Options, the Federal Bureau of Investigation went to Apple and said, hey, man, we need you to unlock this guy's iPhone. There's probably terrorist information on there. Maybe there's other attacks in Southern California. We need to save American lives. Does everybody in this room know what Apple said to the United States government and the FBI? F you. The Federal Bureau of Investigation said, we need you to unlock this iPhone. Please help us. Apple, Tim Cook, said, no, we respect our customers' privacy. But in China, we use 10-year-old kids and we install government tracking software on our phones so the government can monitor you. Don't give me any bullshit about these limousine liberal tech companies in this country. I got out of Apple and I hope they implode. Like Google. We're not going to do any more Pentagon contracts because they don't reflect our corporate values. Done. We got out of the FANGs, ladies and gentlemen. We got out of I was long Facebook. I was long Apple. I wasn't long Netflix, and we traded Google. We ditched all of them for the one company whose CEO isn't a limit. He might be a limousine liberal, but the dude doesn't say a word other than we're an American company and we support the Pentagon. All right, my rant is complete on that. Here's what I'm getting at. Let's go back to VIX. Folks, with the mixed, here's what's awesome about this earnings period. the last couple earnings period, what has Wall Street done? Hey, the financial earnings are out. Wow, they sucked. Oh, okay, on to the next one. Technology earnings. Ooh, they suck too. We always do what during earnings lately? We always do the, ooh, those weren't that good. Well, now let's turn next week to tech. Folks, the music is about to stop. And I'm telling you that the Fed is what? The Fed might let us down. So enough, I got to be honest with you, out of our 7-step trade plan, strategic mindset, cautiously bullish, target, volatility, step 3, commit criteria. I just gave you 28 minutes of commit criteria, and I apologize. But here's what we're going to do. If you believe in the next, remember, folks, the VIX is a heart rate monitor. Whoa, freak out. All right, that freak out went away. Oh, new freak out, it went away. The VIX isn't a stock, folks. It doesn't go up and to the right or, oh, a little down. It's not a stock, folks. It returns to its mean. And the mean VIX is what? A 20. What are we at? We're at 14. So enough with my commit criteria. What I want to do is show you what I call a burner trade, afterburner, right? So if you, Wiz, you have sufficiently scared the hell out of me and turned me against Silicon. How about last time Mark Zuckerberg testified in front of the Senate? He looks like Data from Star Trek, right? He doesn't even, I think he's a cyborg. The one Republican senator, right? Mr. Zuckerberg, so you're going to monitor hate speech on your platform. Yes, Senator, we've hired 10,000 people to monitor hate speech and police it. Couple questions. Go ahead, Senator. What is hate speech? The dude sat there and it looked like he had springs and smoke coming out of his ears. He's like, that is a good question, Senator, and my team will get back to you. The dude couldn't define it. The next question. Okay, great. You can get back to me and your team when you define hate speech. Where are you hiring these 10,000 people from? The Bay Area, Senator. And before he said the word senator, you could even see that robot catching himself, like you're hiring 10,000 people from the Bay Area to monitor hate speech. Yeah. You're talking to a dude that got his $5,000 person Twitter account got shut down by Twitter because I said something about Obama somebody with purple hair and a nose ring didn't like. I've been in Twitter jail for the past 7 days because I said something about the squad. And I got booted off of Facebook twice so far. Free speech, only if you agree with them. So folks, if you believe sufficiently that in the next week or so, holy crap, man, I think we're going to see a pop in volatility. Even if we don't see a pop, I need an ejection seat. You could go out and maybe buy some VIX calls. Uncertainty, not volatility. Delete that word volatility and put in the word uncertainty. Okay? Which calls would I buy? First of all, let's take a look at the calendar. So the next week and a half-ish, let's just go to, do they have an early August expiration? August 7. The August 7 expiration. The next 2.5 weeks, folks, are going to be critical. Either we're in a binary market right now. You see these moves? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I don't know if it's going to keep going up. Like I told you, out here is a Fed meeting where they can only disappoint. So let's potentially Tredge. Let's place a trade that can serve as a hedge. You ready? Maybe we just buy. See this like light color in the background here? That's called in the money. These options, you see the VIX right now? It's at the close. It was let's round up and say $14. So let's just say 13.97. The 13.97 strike is what? At the money, right? This is all black, and in the background is light. So I like to buy options. If I'm just going to straight buy some calls, I might just buy these options that have a delta of close to good color Wiz, of 0.8 I'm going to tell you in your full throttle training why we buy those with the delta, what the hell delta is to begin with. Delta. I'll cover all that stuff, folks. But if you believe, you know what, Wiz, you sufficiently scared the hell out of me, then I did my job, folks. I never went flying with my commanding officer in the Hornet on a mission over Iraq where the dude's like, we're awesome. Look at us. We're Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights. We're the best there is. Let's not even talk about everything's great. You're going to land back aboard this aircraft carrier and have a great landing. If that dude ever said that to me, I'd punch him in the face, guys. Stop. That never happened. Before you go on a mission, you look at everything that could go wrong. So maybe we buy some VIX calls. If you bought 10 of the August 7th, 12th, and I haven't even briefed you. I'm not going to waste your time because we talked about it today and yesterday. We got China and we have who out there? I briefed you that last night in Iran tried to attack a British ship, and the HMS, Her Majesty's ship, Montrose, almost got into a gun battle with Iranian gunboats. You wake up tomorrow morning or Friday morning or next Thursday, and the Abraham Lincoln has carried out airstrikes in Iran, the VIX will be at 20. Can that happen? Yeah. Will it? Maybe. So if you bought 10 of the AUG 7 12.5 calls, you're spending $2,300. Now I'm going to stop here and drop anchor for a second. If on August 7th, you're going to look at me and say, Wiz, I lost $2,700 on these calls. Nothing happened. God, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Ganesh came back to life, and the VIX went to zero. It's not going to happen, but I'm being, Do not do this trade if you're going to look at this as losing money if it doesn't turn profitable. Why? Because if this trade doesn't make money, guess what happens to my CSX, my Raytheon, my Amazon, my XLY, my EWZ, all the other longs that I'm going to teach you about in our position will be up. They should be up. Obviously, they're individual names, but you get what I'm saying. If volatility goes down because the market's rallying, our longs will go up. If you're the type of person that says, Wiz, all these longs are up, I don't know, 10 grand. Oh, but I lost 2 grand on this. Don't sign up. We're not going to get along. If you're going to look at this and say, I'm up 10 grand on these, I didn't, this went out worthless. I made a total of 8. I'm happy for it. Thank God. We're going to be best friends. Do not be the type of trader I'm telling you again, guys, I never landed after mission in the Hornet and said, I didn't get shot down on this mission. Hey Chief, why'd you put an ejection seat in my airplane? I could have used that 800 pounds of gas. The guy would have punched me in the face. So this is what you could do if you think volatility is going to spike. Now we're going to get to the meat of the presentation. I've been going way too long. Way too verbose, but I'm going to bring up VXX. It's a good proxy. I'm going to teach you the difference between VIX and VXX and all sorts of other stuff. But anyway, if you don't think, all right, well, Wiz, I think volatility is going to go up. Okay, great. We could buy some VIX calls. Well, guess what? If you think, and this isn't a stupid question, I seriously have to ask you this. If you think volatility is going up in the next 2 weeks, what do you think it's also not going to do? I need some answers. If you think something is going to go up, what exactly, guys? Thank you. All right, people are awake. If you think something's, Wiz, I know this, you scared the hell out of me. I think this is going up. Tell me what it's not going to do. Go down. Yeah, a bunch of people like, I thought you were tricked. No, this ain't a trick, folks. Listen to me. Wiz, you sufficiently scared the hell out of me. I want to hedge. I think it's going to go up. If you think that, folks, the converse has got to be true. I'm watching Westworld on Amazon Prime or HBO. Love it. If you think it's binary, if you think it's going up, that's a 1. You also think the converse, which is a 0, that it ain't going to go down. So if you've enjoyed your free full throttle stuff until this point, you know if we don't think something's going to go down, what trade could we do? A bull put spread. I'm bullish on volatility. I'm using puts, and it'll be a spread. So here's what's really cool, ladies and gentlemen. Those VIX calls I just showed you. I'm going to buy some VIX calls. The guy scared me. They were what, about $2 grand? That's money out of my pocket, folks. I'm paying, or yeah, whoever, Mark, you just said that, or sideways. Not even, if you don't think volatility is going to super pop, you might just think it's going to trade sideways here. Good point, Mark. Appreciate that. So we could look at a bull put spread, which you learned today and yesterday is a credit spread. You're bringing in money. So watch this. Those long calls on VIX I just showed you out to August 7th cost about what, $2,300, right? Let's remember that, $2,300. Now let's look out to next Friday at a bull put spread on VXX. Let's take a look. What was it? August, I think those calls were at Aug 9, right? Let's take a look at the 23, and there's, oh, wait here. There we go. Let's take a look at the 23, 22 and a half bull put spread. Wow. There's a lot of premium in that. Let me put 150 contracts in here for now as a placeholder and take a look at this. Let's go even lower. Let's go, what's the lowest VXX has been in a, wow, let's do the 6-month chart. The last time we saw this, the VXX this low was before what? Trump said, no trade deal, we're leaving. We're below that point. Let's go down a little bit on this bull put spread. Maybe the, let's just, what are we at? 23.36. Let's go down to like 22. Wow, look at that. So $1.36 below. We're looking at selling the 22 down here. Look at the 22. It's at almost the bottom of the Skeltner channel. Mid market is 20 cents ish. Everybody look right here right now. And well, exactly, Kevin. So folks, remember this is academic training. The market is closed. Kevin brings up a good point. It closed at 23.36. Everybody take your eyes and look where. I told you the futures are down right now. What did I tell you Monday night? I told you Monday night in the free brief, I said get long volatility. What did I tell you yesterday? We're going to talk about getting long volatility. If you listen to me, the trade that was down $1,900 2 days ago is up $2,100. So look at this. Let me bring up the trade. This trade, this is after market hours, and Kevin's right. These numbers aren't going to work tomorrow, but here's what I'm getting at. Look at this wording down here. Estimated amount you will receive. Ooh, hold on a second, Wiz. I was going to pay $2,300 for those calls. Dude, I'm cheap. What did I just do? I just brought in $3,000. How much out of pocket are we? None. We're bringing in. Oh, all right, everybody calm down. Wiz, let me get this straight. Between now and August 9th, you're telling me I'm going to get paid. I can get paid to be long volatility against a market pullback, which is happening, and a spike in somebody's paying me to do this. Yes. This is why you want to join Top Gun Options, folks. For the past, what was it? The past 2 months, we've had like 22.7 in, 22.7 in profit. We had like 28-ish in volatility trades that were profitable. I lost one that was about a 4K loss. So we've been net in the past 2 months up about 24 grand in volatility trades doing this. And the one that I got wrong here, well, I'm not even, well, I'll tell you, I was off by a day. Doesn't matter. Horseshoes and hand grenades. You were off, Wiz. Thank you. Shut up. Exactly. But 1 day later, the trade was at max profit. Everybody listen to me, folks. So you could, if somebody just asked, could you do this on one order ticket? No, because with an order ticket, you need the same symbol. So right now I'm looking at VXX, okay? So why would I call this a burner trade? Good question. Let me ask you, or let me show you. Let me buy an upside call. So I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do some drawing. Wiz, you're right, man. You scared me. I don't think this thing's going down. I think it's going to go up. So we're putting in a floor here with a bull put spread, BPS, bull put spread. And then what could we do? You just showed me about buying some long calls, Wiz. Yeah. So let's all do it on one order ticket. And I'm going to show you with a picture why this is called a burner trade. We're going to add some upside calls. What? Where did we peak out recently? 25-ish. Let's do here. Maybe the 24 calls. Buy the 24 calls. Mid-market. Okay. So, and let's go up to maybe like 50. Okay. Buy those. So look at this order ticket, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Actually, this turned it into a debit. Let me bring these down. Let me get these ratios in line. About 75, 75, and maybe 25. Yeah, this is good. All right, here we go. Like this. So I'm doing a bull put spread, the 22, 21 and a half. That's me saying I don't think VXX is below 22 by August 9th. And I actually think it's going to be above 24. So now I turned it into a debit spread. You're only coming out of pocket $1,600. But guess what your potential upside is? Watch this. And I know I'm teaching you to look at max loss, but look at this first for a second. Infinite. What's the end for the TGO members that just ignored me, which you should have, and looked at max loss? We're right around our $5,000. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is why it's called an afterburner trade. You ready for this? This is me over here, taking off down the runway. I pull my gear and my flaps up. I'm doing about 300, 400, 450 knots at the end of the runway. This is why it's called a burner trade. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the bull put spread, and here's the long calls. If between now and August 9th expiration, God forbid, okay, and I have to say this, on some of these Tredge trades, I don't like saying this, but I have to say God forbid. God forbid between now and August 9th, Iran sinks a Navy ship or whatever, or China trade war. God forbid. This thing can see unlimited profit potential. And you can, on E-Trade, you can at least hover over here and go, what's reality? Whoa, if that happens, here's where the VXX used to be. If this thing is where the VXX used to be a couple weeks ago, look at our potential profit. Whoa. This is why it's called a burner trade. There's unlimited upside and there's defined loss. Now, Wiz, I don't want to lose potentially $5,300. Got it, man. Do less contracts. Do 25, 25, 10, whatever. Figure out the ratio. But I'm telling you, folks, between now and August 9th, look, I'll say this again because it needs to be said. Nobody lets you trade off the left side of a chart, which is what every other service out there does. Well, if you did the reverse Fibonacci candle hub screw with a shoulder top, you could have, don't tell me what I could have done, folks. Why do we plan? Why do I do trade briefs? Why do I do a trade plan? Or in business, I know we have a lot of small business owners. You guys know me. I do keynote. I send it out in the email to my members. Somebody asked me earlier for shameless plug. If you want an autographed copy of my book, somebody asked me in the earlier brief, and I blew that off. Let me put this link in the chat box. If you want an autographed copy of my book, I'll do it. Here's what I'm getting at: is I did a keynote in Vegas for McKesson. Does everybody know who this guy is? Right there, not me. John Hamilgren. I called him the Hammer. When I did that keynote, what was it, last year? The dude was the highest paid CEO in the world. Does anybody know what he made? $145 million in a year. John Hamilgren made. And guess what this dude did? He called me in to give a keynote to McKesson. So you can go to this page and watch it, and I'll give you an autographed book. Here's what I'm getting at. To this huge Las Vegas crowd, his 1,500 people I gave a speech to, I asked them the question, why do we plan? Listen to me real quick. Here's the definition. This is why we plan in the military. Planning allows you to project your thoughts forward in space and time so you can influence events rather than react to them. I love people. I love playing secret shopper and going to trade briefs where people, well, the reverse Fibonacci, this with the candle hub momentum squeeze. What? We used to burn witches too. You have to trade off the right side of the chart. And here's the best part about Top Gun options, folks, is if you just sat here for, 59 minutes, we got to get going. 59 minutes and sat here and said, Wiz, I could not disagree more. What could you do? And I love when people do this because I love getting red teamed. I love people going, well, Wiz, I think earnings are going to be great and the market's going to rally and you're wrong and the Fed's going to cut and everything's great. You could do the exact opposite of this trade. This is what makes a market, folks. Listen to me. And because seriously, if there's people in this audience that said, dude, what are you high? Yeah, we had a little pullback, but we're going to rocket higher and vol's going to historic lows. Dude, lady, take the other side of this trade. This is when I place this trade, there's somebody on the other side. So if this was funny where people are like, well, I disagree with that. Perfect. Then do the other side of the trade. Look at that. Give me your money, Jeff. I love it. A bunch of people are saying that. So I will always tell you after I do my trade plan, I'm going to go, does anybody disagree with me? And I love disagreement because you guys make me better. What do we call it in the squadron? We call it a red team. What's a red team? Before I went flying on a combat mission and I did some planning with my wingman, what did I do? I went and got people who weren't my wingmen, who were just hanging out drinking coffee, weren't flying on this mission, and I briefed them on my plan. And they go, dude, what are you looking at? There's a missile over here you didn't look at. What if the Air Force tanker doesn't show up here? You're going to run out of gas. They poke holes in my plan, and I go, wow. Because we get groupthink. I don't want groupthink in my live trade brief. So right now, I know there's 1,000 questions blistering at me right now, but that's what I want. If you don't believe me, Wiz, vol's going lower, baby, then do the exact opposite. Buy that, sell that, and say, dude, vol's going down. It's funny. I have members who do this every once in a while. They're like, dude, Wiz, I'm taking the other side of that trade. Usually I don't hear back from them because you know what happens, right? So, yeah, Steve, I appreciate that. Yeah, no. Folks, I just fell on my sword a little earlier about a couple missed trades or something like that. But this, ladies and gentlemen, and the one somebody asked me about the trade for Friday earlier. I wouldn't. Well, it depends on you. I wouldn't put this on right now, but I'm holding it. Yeah, I'll show you. This is my VXX bull put spread out to Friday. It's the 23, 22.5 bull put spread. Let me bring up the trade here. Okay. I sold the 23 puts. I bought the 22.5. Before yesterday, when we were in the primary live trade brief, a couple of my members who were new were like, dude, whoa, what's going on, man? I'm like, what do you mean what's going on? This trade has 4 days to work, and between now and Friday is a tweet, a potential war, and a lot of stuff. And the trade went from being a loss yesterday to up $2,200 today. Let me go back to the slide real quick. Discipline, folks. You wouldn't believe how my inbox is full of people going, Wiz, should you fly your plan, folks. Everybody have a copy of the trade plan, and then we got to get going. I'm not going to mark it anymore. My phone's been buzzing and stuff like that. You have the trade plan right in the handouts. Everybody look over there. It says trade data sheet. Everybody have that? This is from a member, folks. This ain't from me. I have my own trade. It's ugly, but I'm glad Robert, great dude. Guy has been a CEO. He does business consulting. This guy is smarter than I am, which isn't saying a lot, but I gave you this or Robert gave you this for free to download. This is what we do at Top Gun Options. Members make me better, and what's your strategic mindset? What are your 3 to 5 sentences to your commit criteria? What are the threats in this trade? What's the VIX doing? what's my comments, stuff like that. What's the trade? Here's the entry. You need to be doing one of these for every trade. Oh, there's Robert. Dude, I've been worried about you, man. I haven't heard from Robert's in here, folks. The man's a smart individual. He's been keeping. This is the type of man who treats this as what? Combat. Let me treat this stuff seriously. Folks, if you're throwing trades on and gambling, you deserve to lose every penny in that trade. And I mean that with the full weight of the arrogance of it. Lose. Robert's been sitting here. He's got Excel sheets. He's treating it like, guess what? It's money, folks. So Robert, thanks for doing that. I have your covered call sheet. I'm going to save that for the full throttle briefs. He also sent me a, hey man, here's what I do with covered calls and a bunch of other stuff. So the dude's been phenomenal, and I put him in touch with Tamara, John. These guys all talk. We have our own little squadron. They talk on the side and do stuff. So enough, folks. I hate the marketing part of this type of stuff. It should sell itself by this point, okay? I think, hold on, let me put my glasses on. 27, folks. 27 is the number. Hold on, okay, thanks. 27 is the number what's that leave? Let me do some political science math. 23. There are 23 slots left between now. So we will do analyze your trade and debrief tomorrow. We have got to get long CSX tomorrow, guys. This is a gift. It's a gift. A 10% pullback on a company that Donald Trump, the only thing, ladies and gentlemen, that before the world ended, they could agree on in Washington was what? Infrastructure. Infrastructure really isn't usually a what? A Republican thing. It should be. It should be an American thing. I hate, well, my Democrats or friends across the aisle, there should be no aisle, folks. Why is there an aisle separating us? We're all freaking Americans, man. Anyway, what I'm getting at is Trump loves infrastructure. I'm a concrete guy. I'm building, love infrastructure. Nancy, before she hopped in her limo and went to the White House, said what? The president's committing crimes. What do you think was going to happen when you got to the White House? I'm from Jersey. The dude's from New York. If you know me, you know my sister knows Donald Trump. On my Instagram, you can see a picture of her and the president. She calls him the Donald. She knows the Donald. The Treasury Secretary of the United States I've had dinner with. My sister ran. You can look her up. Everybody look up. It's so funny because people are like, really? I'm like, yeah. Let me do some family bragging real quick. Dune Capital. And she's going to kill him. Well, she doesn't come to these things. So Dune Capital, Buckley. So there you go. So here is my sister from Dune Capital. She's the CIO of Dune Capital. She was awarded, you ready for this? The Woman of the Year for New York City. I went to a dinner with Steve Mnuchin. Who's the dude? Oh, Corzine. Oh my God, what a jerk. John Corzine, the governor of New Jersey and senator. Remember that guy? He ran MF Global into the ground. Along with my Pentagon folks and let's just say I know I do a lot of phone calls, guys, right? So let's just say we know stuff. So Steve Mnuchin, where is it? My sister was partners with the Treasury Secretary. So maybe I pick up the phone and call her every once in a while. And Harry, the Rolodex is thick. I hate saying stuff like, I hate name dropping, but you guys know me. A lot of times when I tell you something, here it is right here. U.S. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin sells Dune real estate stakes. So between us on this webinar, I'm going to tell you something. I love my sister. I'm one of 6 Irish Catholic kids. I lost a sister to a drunk driver. So there's 5 of us, but I love my sister Kia. When I asked her initially, when Mnuchin became Treasury Secretary, I said, all right, Kia, we call her Kia. Her name's Cornelia, right? Her name's not Kia, it's Cornelia. But my sister who passed away, Monica, couldn't say Cornelia, so she called her Kia. So that's why we call her Kia. But I said, hey, Kia, come on, man, give me the dirt about Mnuchin. She's like, I will tell you this, Matthew. She calls me Matthew. She says, we were, I'm not going to tell you how much they were, but if you needed a new pen or a pad of paper, you had to go to this guy's office and get the key, not get the keys. He had the keys to the supply closet. If you tell anybody else, I'm going to kill you guys. I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, I started there as a partner. I'm like, hey, where do I get my stuff? He's like, what do you need? She's like, a couple pens and a pad. He's like, he kind of gave her a look and like escorted her to the supply closet to get stuff. Not saying that makes him a good dude or a bad dude. There's your anecdote out of Uncle Wiz. Mnuchin and my sister, I went to dinner with the guy. Didn't sit at his table. I was at a table with a couple other Goldman Sachs heavies. But as Harry said, I don't like to name drop. I will name drop at the beginning of stuff, because when I tell you something and you kind of go, oh, that's bullshit, or where's that coming from? Some of the time I can't tell you, whether it's military or Wall Street or whatever. Okay? All right, guys. Sorry, I went an hour and 20. It was supposed to be about an hour-ish. I'll get the replay posted sometime soon. Because I'm going to head back downstairs or up on the roof for cocktails. And this is what we do. This is actually a sample of our full throttle training, guys, because Tuesdays and Thursday nights, we crack open a bottle of wine, a bottle of Pinot Noir, and we go through this. Here's how we trade. Here's where you look to find stuff. This is a call. This is a put. And by the time the 8 sessions are done in about 4 weeks, you're a Jedi master, okay? So I don't think we're going to get 50 tonight, and even if we do, I'll still do tomorrow's. We might not do Fridays, but I will do tomorrow's brief, okay? Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, because you have to do the CSX. You got to get long CSX, folks. I'm telling you, man, it's a steal. Please listen to me. It's a steal down 10%, folks. The South will rise again. CSX will absolutely rise again. We got into it right there when the old CEO died, and the thing's still up 40-ish% since we got into it. Okay, thanks, man. Thanks for all the kind words. I appreciate it. Head to go.topgun. Somebody just asked about monthlies. I will not open up monthlies if we still have people who will buy an annual. I prefer people who are ready to, no kidding, not be half pregnant. Okay, $19.95, $24.95, or $29.95. I just showed you an options trade on VXX that by Friday could potentially pay for a full year of your full throttle training, okay? Men lie, numbers don't. Go to one of those 95 slide PowerPoint guys and ask them, okay? Right now, looking at this VXX trade, you could buy, by Friday, a full throttle defensive track. And I showed you today an AR, accelerated retirement. Last Wednesday, we closed out 2 trades on SPY and FXI that made $5,200 in a week, okay? So, and these are discounted prices here, guys. Somebody asked earlier, like, can I get a discount? Those are the X'd out prices are the regular prices, folks. So that's enough of the marketing. Tomorrow, when we get in Analyze Your Trade and Debrief, ain't no marketing. If you can't figure out by 4 sessions into this, if you want to trade here with us, if you don't believe some of the current members, we're not going to waste any more time trying to drag you to water. Okay, so Jeff, can I play full price for you, man? No, I wouldn't do that. Only triple. Steve, awesome, Steve. Welcome aboard. Absolutely. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. I'll get the replay posted probably tomorrow morning, and then somebody asked for the book link. I put it in there. If you want an autographed copy of my book, that's cheesy, but no, it's literally how I went from sea level to sea level. It talks about the stuff I learned as a fighter pilot, how I went from being essentially a lowly meat eater to running a multi-billion-dollar Wall Street firm. It's actually a pretty cool story. Just ask me. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.